time, right? So allow yourself the time to allow monies to flow and grow so that your wealth can build out to be where ultimately you want it to be. So once you get your cash flow down, and I would encourage you all play a game with yourself, see how long you can take to make yourself your biggest bill, right? Where, and if you can even get above your rent payment or your mortgage payment, that's even better, right? But I'll let you put that to the side for now. But if you can get yourself to where you're saving and investing more money for yourself in assets that are going to grow and return more wealth to you and your family, then you're spending on car notes, then you're spending on shoes, then you're spending on jewelry, then you're spending on vacations. Lord knows we'll vacate ourselves out of this joint. You know, we'll vacate $10,000, $20,000 and don't have $4,000 or $200 in the doggone bank because we vacating, right? Make yourself your biggest bills, right? To where you're putting your money up for you to allowing that to grow, and then everything else falls in line. And again, you're your biggest bill because you're your greatest asset, right? You should be investing more into yourself than anything else. Now, when it comes to investing, there's a lot of information out there, good, bad, and different. What I will tell you all is there's a lot of false prophets out there. You know, the Bible says beware of the false prophets out there trying to tell you that this is the way to get to Jordan. There's a lot of people selling techniques and you do this, you do that, you'll make it. There are tools and resources that have been used for long periods of time. I'm talking, hundreds of years almost at this point that have helped people build wealth. And I would encourage you all to educate yourselves on those tools and resources and put them at the core of your planning. So when you talk about just general investing, a lot of people want to pick the stock. There are over 660,000 publicly traded stocks on any given day. And if you have the ability to repeatedly choose the right one out of 660,000 every time, God bless you. The statistics show that is generally not the case. Most people cannot consistently pick the one over and over and over and over and over again. So there are ways to not just have to worry about trying to pick one stock. You can actually buy a basket of stocks. So some of you have probably heard of the S&P 500. It's 500 large growth stocks, some of the largest stocks that are domiciled here in the United States. And it's one of the barometers of where we track the market, track the economy, right? If the S&P's up, economy's doing well, everybody's moving pretty good. If the S&P's down, it's not doing so great, economy's not doing so well. The S&P 500 has been tracked since 1926 at this point. So that's what, 98th year this year. Out of 98 years, and it looks like this one, prayerfully, we got a few more months to go. We'll finish positive because it's still positive today. It's been positive 73% of the time. So 73% of the time you win it, okay? You're making money. 53% of that time you've averaged over 12%. So not only are you winning, but majority of the time you're winning pretty large, right? From 1926, it's only been negative 3 or more years in a row, 3 times in history. Great Depression, World War II, and the tech bubble. Other than that, it's an off year here, maybe a couple off years there, but it gets back at doing what it's doing. So wealth over time has been built in that market space where people have been buying the S&P 500, top 500 stocks. They're not looking for the needle. They just bought the whole haystack. By buying the whole haystack, there's going to be some needles in there to do their thing, right? And it's by systematically doing that over time. And there are other options out there. I'm using the S&P as an example. And based on your risk profile, based on your tolerance for risk, you would divert monies in the appropriate places. But by putting those monies up year over year over year over year, that compounding begins to happen. Next thing you know, you're waking up with a lot of money. And you can build around that with some other more speculative things. But at its core, most individuals who are trying to build wealth should participate in equity markets and begin to build those equity portfolios. So the equity markets, the bond markets, those are things that have been around for a very long time. Another thing that's been around for a very long time is the real estate market, right? And the real estate market's been around. Home ownership has been a way for people to build wealth. Buying investment properties has been a way for people to build wealth. But what I want to let everybody on this call know is there aren't tricks. Everybody's looking for the hack. So many people spend so many years of their life trying to figure out what the trick is or what the hack is, where if they just would have started from the start trying to just do things the right way, they'd be where they want to be. But they spent so much time taking this person's course, trying to figure out what this hack is. Everything you want out of life is on the other side of hard work. Bottom line, if it was easy, everybody would have it. So don't fall into the thought process of, oh, it's going to be simple. Oh, there's a trick that it's going to take some effort. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some work, right? So real estate is another way people have built significant wealth and things in the market. And it's been around for a very long time. Insurance assets, right? Whether it be whole life insurance, variable universal life insurance, universal life insurance, IUL's on the scene right now. It's the new hot kid on the block. But insurance assets, term insurance, they've been used for years, very long periods of time to help people build wealth. And the one thing I want all of you to understand is specifically when it comes to insurance and you're trying to build your wealth profile, the first thing that you all need to do is make sure you have the right amount of insurance, right? A lot of times we get caught up on the type, okay? We want this type, that. I've delivered death claims to families. No one has ever told me I don't want this money because it's term insurance, or I don't want this money because it's whole life insurance. No one has ever said that. I've often got asked, how much is it and when can I get it, right? So you want to make sure you have the right amount. And many of us are operating in spaces, especially people of color, we're significantly underinsured. And it goes back because we don't know our value. We don't really know that we are that greatest asset. We don't know our worth. I'll give you a little exercise you can do for yourself. I'm going to use round numbers because it's simpler. If you're making $100,000 a year and you're going to work another 25 years, you're going to bring $2.5 million into your family's lifestyle, into your community, into your environment. 100,000 times 25 is 2.5 million. If I told you that you got a machine in your living room, a machine in your kitchen that's going to print out $2.5 million over the next 25 years, and you have the ability to insure that machine, most of you would not let anyone let you insure that machine for less than $2.5 million because that's what it's going to produce. And if it breaks, that's what you want. All of you are that said machine.